on the outside as they now come away toward the final 5/16. The Cobra racing out just wide. Azaria right there on the rail. Lady Cancha now beginning to edge closer. Sterling Gold left out of it along with Sunshine City and Hidden Secret, but it's Prince Andrew out in front as they've left the quarter pole. Special Report now trying to close the gap as they leave the 3/16th marker. In behind them, Lady Cancha has made some progress onto the left-hand stick. Azaria further back against the rail, but it's Prince Andrew inside the final furlong. Griffiths now calling for the stick in the right hand, and Prince Andrew has opened up a huge lead inside the last yardage. They won't stop Prince Andrew from taking the fourth, winning it in fine style and showing class. Special Report is second, Lady Canchan third, Sunshine City is off the fourth. Number one, Prince Andrew, a 3-year-old bay colt by Dayton Flyer, Quick Burst by Explodent. Bredham Stables Limited, owned 2 Pen U, trained Philip Fiani OD, the rider Winston Griffiths OD.
Idolized in the Caribbean as the benchmark for assessing jockeys, the name Winston Fanny Griffiths remains synonymous with the sport of kings. What started out as a natural love for animals would eventually lead to achievements receiving global recognition.
In the beginning, I tell myself that, I'd love to become a jockey. Eventually, years passed by until I met a person by the name of Percival Tomlinson, who, when I met him, asked me if I'd love to become a jockey, which was my thrill.
Griffiths began his jockey's apprenticeship in 1975. Shortly after, he developed an appreciation for the temperament of horses, a skill that was instrumental to him securing his first winner that same year.
As an apprentice, when I met this jockey by the name of Joe Mercer, which I thought he's an idol to me, and I asked him quite a few questions, which he explained to me about riding. Eventually, I tried to patronize his riding as an apprentice, and from there on, I took it into my head and decided that this is the way, and eventually it works for me.
They're off. Apache Bird gets away last. Hypnotica first to leave the gates. Casino Curry, One Little Wish, She's My Heart. Storm Tracker, they're all in pursuit early. A break of 4-5 lengths in behind them, Butcher Gal. Apache Bird has passed one. That's Cashley. A half a mile to race. They're into that turn for home. One Little Wish and She's My Heart now going at it up front, with She's My Heart showing just by the flare of a rostral over One Little Wish cutting the corner on the fence. A break of 2 3/4 lengths back to a push to Lom Hypnotica, Storm Tracker alongside. Casino Kerry races next, some 5 lengths off that lead. A break to Apache Bird and Cashley. Last of all, as the leaders turn for home, that's Butcher Gal, and She's My Heart now unleashed at the top of the lane to run. One Little Wish left back in second. Hypnotica under the stick against the fence. Apache Bird asked to make progress right against the rail. In behind those horses, it's Casino Kerry. She's My Heart battling now with Hypnotica. One Little Wish left back. There on the rail is Apache Bird. It's She's My Heart and Hypnotica in a duel down the stretch. She's My Heart and Hypnotica bobbing heads. It's very tight between She's My Heart and Hypnotica. Apache Bird looks to be third, One Little Wish fourth.
A horse doesn't use whip to get him to run. A whip is just a reminder. Normally, yes, you carry a whip. When a horse starts to idle, you give him a tap here and there. So if you don't have to hit a horse, then you can show him the whip, which I use to fan him. And there is where I got the name Fanner.
Having watched in awe at the exploits of 4-time champion rider Georgia Sang, Griffiths openly credits the jockeys and the trainers who contributed immensely to his career.
The first one was really Kenneth Mattis, and I really had a good relationship with Kenneth until after a couple of years we were successful. And finally, I make a change, which changed over to Mr. Fiani, which is where I am now. And it was fantastic. Over the years, we have so many wins which unrecorded, but history is there to tell its tales. When I started riding, George Horsang was really the top rider. I really watched him and I decided to myself that I really want to become the champion. And after I get all the experience from Joe Mercer, there's where I take on the role and decided that, boy, I really want to become the champion.
Griffiths' stellar career includes 5 jockeys titles, 4 of which came between 1978 and 1981. This period included a memorable ride in 1981 aboard Royal Dad, who became Jamaica's first Triple Crown winner.
They're a furlong and a half away from home, and Royal Dad is fighting back on the bus, and now Royal Dad begins to show his class in the derby. He begins to sprint away from them. Winston Griffiths will land his first derby this afternoon. Royal Dad becomes a super horse in Jamaica. He wins it over the bus and Forceful Native.
Griffiths' most memorable year in the saddle came in 1992. That year he partnered with many-time winning trainer Philip Fiani to secure an unprecedented 5 classic wins in a calendar year. Having been conferred with the Order of Distinction in 1999, Griffiths' impressive resume includes being CARICOM's all-time leading jockey in wins with a total of 1,664.
This is what I want to say to SBRL. I really want to thank them so much what they have done for me, knowing to myself that this could be the highest peak of my career as a rider, and for me to really put up my towel and decide that, boy, I call it a day, and for them to really recognize me, to really put a name in my name, I really want to say thanks to them, and I really appreciate it a lot.
The commanding chief left back on the outside in the orange silks, but it's Mark My Word and Winston Griffiths. They arrive at the 3/16th with the lead. Emperor Hall trying hard to run him down. Commanding chief has cried enough. Technomotor is left back against the fence, but it's Mark My Word and the old-timer Winston Griffiths have opened up an unstoppable advantage inside the final 16, and Mark My Word will win the 49th running of the Harry Jackson Memorial Cup under Winston Griffiths. A distance back to Emperor Hall, then Technomotor, and a disappointing run from Commanding Chief. In the winner's enclosure, the unofficial winner of the 5th, number 6, Mark My Word. 4-year-old Chestnut Colt by Market Rally, Miss Chestnut by Horse Chestnut. Bredham Stables Limited, owned Elite Bloodstock Limited. Train Richard Azam, the rider Winston Griffiths OD. Second 3, Emperor Hall. Third 2, Technomotor. Fourth 1, Commanding Chief.